Switching up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions.
Well, no West would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Hands up! Unity! You ain't got nothing! You ain't got nothing! Hands up!
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's got a man, and that's Alex Erickson. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go! Let's go!
23 yards, the final tally. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Kicks away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 9-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Flushed out right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run it with Carson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
At the 29-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
And the Seahawks, 1st down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. That's his longest run of the 1st quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the catch good. It's Eifert. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. So Dalton now. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
You better be afraid of me. Check 15.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
At the 28-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now it's Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Go 14.
From the 41, Wilson. And an alley to run. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now Wilson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Carson.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Right here, double count. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Let's get that ball.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. But you don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Switch! Hey! 368! Hey, Alpha!
1st and 10 for Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Another chance for Dalton. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. This will be Dalton again. Open man, Erickson. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They'll give it to Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Tight dog, reload. Check 13.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got Lockett. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's caught by Penny. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Kill, turn up.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On first down, Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down.
Watch the ship.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his first career touchdown in his first career game, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now a give, right side. Carson, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Check 20. 19.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
A 12-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And the Bengals first down.
Hands up. 318. 54. 54. Watch the screen. Hands up.
Now Joe Mixon trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? They come up in a 2 tight end look here. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. From a yard out, and the Bengals have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Got it. 57, Mike. 57. You ain't going nowhere.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 57. I'm coming after you. 57 to Mike. 57.
From the gun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Passing, it's Dalton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Hands up.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton, and that will be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. Now Wilson back into his end zone. And this is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 89 yards. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Wilson. Rolling. Touchdown, Seahawks. The extra point now coming from Myers. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Bengals.
Andy Dalton now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing. Dalton. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there. It's a great throw right there and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
Andy Dalton, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. So Dalton now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Flush to his right. He lets it, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Marshall.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Hands up. Please. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Eluding the pressure right. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
57. Go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. This complete to Lockett. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. One fluff. 57 to Mike. Go. 4 down. Watch the curl. Go.
To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. David Moore, 28 yards. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 21-14. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw here, Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
First down, Bengals.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Dalton. Airing one out for Boyd. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Give him 30 yards there. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up,
Dalton. Green brings it in. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And Dalton to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. K.J. Wright able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
They'll begin the drive with Carson. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the... He's got him in! Complete! And all the way in, touchdown Seattle! David Moore, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
First down, Bengals.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And 2 on the Seahawks 40-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a gain of 35. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys are back within a single score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Switch.
Friday.
They run again with Carson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Penny. Up of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Now a give, right side. Carson. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.